Well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back. George Morgan here at your service. It's PSGL, it's Wednesday night, it's Spain tonight as well. Lots on the table, lots of battling. The title contest is still alive and kicking. And Jack, it's only taken us 10 rounds. We're on the 11th. It's all to play for.
Boromant goes on the inside and takes the lead on the final lap of the race. Now it's side by side between Boromant and Warner, but Boromant's got the inside.
Literally a guest star here in this phenomenal race. Cameron Dowd looking to take P2 in his very first PSGL F1 PC race. Incredible to say the least. You see that Putin's the lead. 1.5 seconds. DRS is the name.
Hello everybody, and oh, that is the wrong... There we go. Welcome everybody, and welcome to PSGL F3. Ooh, there we go. It is time for Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, a lightning fast circuit. Definitely an exciting one. We've had some exciting races this season, so certainly hoping to add to that today. I'm joined by Omi today. How are you doing?
Hello, doing absolutely incredibly well. Really looking forward to Jeddah. A lot of action, 3 DRS zones, so gonna be an absolutely thrilling race.
Yeah, certainly. So Cameron Dowd, currently leading the championship. It is quite a margin, which he's leading it by, which is quite amazing actually. It's a good 20 points. So he's in the driving seat at the moment. Liam Stevens in second and Drake Dempsey in third. Only 2 points separating those guys at the moment. So we definitely have a championship battle on our hands. Sorry, not a championship battle, a second place battle in our hands. In terms of rounds left, what round are we on? We're on 9. Is it 10 that there are? I think it's 10. Sorry, I've not done my homework. But
There's 12 in total.
12 in total. So we'd have 3 rounds left then after this, 10, 11 and 12. Where there's certainly going to be more excitement. So there is still time. The championship is not over for sure. But Omi, talk to me about Jeddah.
A really exciting circuit. Drivers really close to the wall. They usually are. You're always millimeters away from it in qualifying, especially. Obviously, we saw Verstappen in 2021 find the barrier there as well. So it's a very exciting circuit. A lot of different challenging corners for the drivers. So it's going to be a really tough one for the drivers. Overtaking opportunities, you have actually quite a lot of them. Obviously, you do have one... Well, you obviously have one down into turn number 1, and then you also have one down at the final corner and a little chicane before we get onto the penultimate straight. Well, the last 2 on the circuit before we obviously get onto the main one. So a really exciting circuit, as I mentioned quite a bit. This is the drivers usually do get very close to the walls also when battling, so let's hope we don't get too much contact. But being a street circuit, I think we might be expecting at least one safety car as well. So it's going to be a big challenge for all of these drivers in this race. So let's hope they all have a very good race, and Cameron Dowd will also be looking to continue the good form he's had.
Yeah, certainly. So we'll hop straight into quali. On that note, you can see our 15 drivers attendance. Not as much today, but still shooting at the top. And we still have the fastest drivers in all of league racing here, apart from the top 2 tiers. So, a few guys getting underway. Jane Tripkov will be leading that train. I've got no engine sounds. That is odd. There we go. So, Jane Tripkov leading that train. I think we've seen that quite a lot this season. He's been the first guy to go out, but then again, that's not really something, you know, that really plays a big part. But he's going to be looking to try and make some points up this weekend. Tony Richet disconnecting there. Not really what you want to be seeing as we start qualifying. In terms of standings, Jane Tripkov, he finds himself fairly far down in P21. Not the best season for him so far, but that has just been a lot of unluckiness, I think. But yeah, there's certainly time to capitalise on that today. And that's definitely what he's going to be wanting to do. All the drivers currently out on the outlaps, bar Tony Ruchet, who had that disconnection. And the action is not too far away. Here's Cameron Dowds, he's leading the championship. So yeah, Jane Tripkov letting through. Mercedes, I think it was Drake Dempsey. It was Drake Dempsey wanting to be the first person to start his lap. He's pushed it quite hard in this outlap, but hopefully that doesn't cost him too much on his main lap. So it is now time for him to start his final lap. Really important to get a good exit on this final corner there. Some drivers would choose to take a wider line if they wish to try and maximise that straight line speed. Hi Richie, I hope you're doing good. And Jake Dempsey decides he's not going to try and take a wide line and get a fast lap. He's going to come into the pits, presumably wrong setup, or I don't know. Anyway, James Tripkov is going to try and set his first line lap. Opens up the DRS all the way down into turn 1. Quite a long run, and you've got to be ready for this heavy braking zone. Requires trail braking. You've got to kind of just send it over the inside curve and then get it rotated for the second one, and then just all the track on the exit, which he's done there. And then we head into this fast section. Really important not to hit the wall there, but get as close as you can. And then you're feathering the throttle through this S section. Again, staying in 6th gear, but feathering that throttle, braking a little bit there before hooking it round, using the curb and getting onto this old DRS straight, not a DRS straight anymore. Then into this fast sort of hairpin left-hander, using all the track on the exit. So easy to lose the car here. But he is maintaining the traction very nicely there. Hooking up to the right now onto this DRS straight. Probably went a little bit deeper there than he would have wanted to, but nonetheless has got the car rotated nicely. And then now they've sort of widened these walls quite a bit, so you can use so much more of the track just to minimize the distance that the car has to go before you come into this chicane, into this penultimate straight. Opens up the DRS, hugging the left side, just following the racing line, maintaining that high top speed before coming into this last corner where Max Verstappen famously crashed back in 2021. Anyway, gets the car rotated very nicely, gets the traction, coming across the finish line. What's he going to be able to do? It's a 26.2, quite a quick lap time, or we'll see what that is in terms of representation, and Bogdan Moldovan immediately beating that with a 25.9, so stunning lap time from him. We'll watch Cameron Dowds as he goes to finish his lap. So, heading into the hairpin, has he done enough to try and get provisional pole position? We're about to see. As he gets the power down, Oscar Villacampa goes P1 with a 25.871. Also, Ewan Norr went P3 with a 26.006. It's not going to be fastest, that's only going to be P4 for Cameron Dowds at the moment.
Yeah, still a lot of improvements though to come from all of these drivers, as well as they all try to find some time. Cuba going into P4 as well, so a lot of these drivers need to get some good laps in. It removes some pressure later on as well in this qualifying session, so if you can get a good lap in right at the start, if you were to make a mistake later on, it'll be a bit less. It would cost you a lot less as well, but looks like Tony has had some issues as well trying to get back in, as he's reporting in the chat, so let's hope he is able to get back in though.
Yeah, certainly. Wilson Hull at the moment, I don't think he's on a lap because he's not got any ERS. So he probably made a mistake or something. I don't actually know. I don't know why he'd stay out, but nonetheless, he is staying out. He's definitely coasting, so he's not going on a lap. Drake Dempsey, though, has just started his final lap. I'll let you talk us through it.
Yep, Drake Dempsey heading into turn number 1 and then turn number 2, then get back on the power. Then you're going into now this tight turn number 4. Try to get closest to the wall you can, but do not exceed the track limits or hit the wall. Then the fast turn number 4 that leads you into these left-right corners as well. Very, very high speed, and then maybe a little lift back on the power then. And then really you got to hope that you're not corner cutting through this part of the lap or running a bit too wide, because then you could easily invalidate. And then we come to the end of the first sector. 31.4 here is managed through there, and then this very banked corner as well. Take it all the way up to the wall, as close as you can get, and then a bit over the curb. And then you're going to go into this, go for the outside, nearly almost touching the inside wall as well. And then get all of the momentum you can from that exit. And then you're going to have DRS open, one of the first DRS zones of this racetrack, other than obviously the start, finish straight. And then you're heading all the way through. This exit is very, very crucial to this part of the lap because it decides your momentum, decides all the speed that you carry all the way down towards turn 27 will be a crucial zone as well in the race. And then you're heading down to the 27th corner of the racetrack, this track having the most corners as well. And then make your way out of the final corner, back on the power, and then you're getting ready to open DRS in a few meters time. And then DRS goes open, and let's see what you can do over the line. Goes to third, just ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, he must have lost quite a bit in the third sector there, because apparently he did purple first and second. But then I say he's not really lost too much. It's only 26 thousandths to Bogdan Moldovan and about half a tenth, or actually no, about 900ths to Oscar Villacampa. But yeah, no, you got the rest of the session to build up from that, so he certainly won't be complaining about that first lap time. Thomas Laminum coming through the first sector now. What can he do on this lap time? Coming through this lovely S section onto the main straight, about to finish the first sector. So 31.627. Don't know what that is in terms of comparison, but seems to be solid. All I know is that it's not purple. Going incredibly wide then. Looked like it was about to hit the wall there, but not quite on his lap. Coming to this other S section. I say S section, it's more of just a chicane onto this long, flat out DRS. Not really a straight, but curved flat out section. Yeah, hooking it around into this chicane, getting a good exit. It looks pretty clean from here. Open to DRS, and we'll see what he can do. Definitely not a bad lap time. He hasn't actually set a lap time yet, so we'll see what he can do as he comes around at the final corner, gets the car slowed down, gets the car rotated on the exit. Car exits very nicely there. He's going to open the DRS, and he's going to come into the pit lane. So, I don't know, maybe I made a mistake that I didn't see. But yeah, Louis Walsh is also about to start the lap. If you want to talk us through it again.
Yep, absolutely. Heading down into the braking zone of turn 1 and turn number 2, and then back on the power as he makes his way down towards turn 4. Louis Welsh will be looking for a bit of a good race as well. And obviously, if you are a tiny bit off the pace, this is for any of the drivers, if you're a tiny bit off the pace, then there's a big chance around this circuit that you can still get a lot of points with the chaos that will happen. But then he's about to make his way now, is Louis Welsh, all the way down towards the bank corner. Brilliantly out of the way was the Alfa Romeo right behind, and Louis Welsh sends it in, little lift, and then you're back all the way on the power. Then the momentum is carried all through the corner, and then now you're about to head once again into this chicane. Now drivers get very close to the wall here on the exit, take a bit of a wide line, then back over to the outside. As you can see, he was millimeters away there, and then you're about to open DRS, and then you go all the way down towards turn number 22. It'll be a little lift, and then you'll be back foot to the floor. You can see a little lift on the brakes, back on the power, and you can see you really on the heels all over the curb there as well, and then foot to the floor with DRS down towards turn number 27. The corners come really, really quick, and you can see getting as much of a toe as you can. All of it can be crucial around a lap like this. And then there's a Williams just getting out of the way, going deep into the apex of turn number 27. And then Louis Welsh about to get his first time lap. He's about to get his first lap on the board as well as he comes over the line. Goes to 5th position, so a good lap there by him, but he'll be surely chasing an improvement in the next few runs.
Yeah, certainly. Oscar Villacampa just come through the second sector to get a purple second sector. He's going to be wanting to challenge to further extend his pole position. I think it said he's about a tenth and a bit up at the moment, so we'll see what he does coming through the final corner. Can he top his lap time? We'll see what happens as he heads towards the DRS, and he is going to finish his lap time. It's going to be a 25.755, so Yunonor as well with a 25.861 was pole position for just a few seconds before Oscar Villacampa took that away from him.
Yeah, really, really interesting to see all of these improvements currently. Most of these drivers getting their second runs in right now, so a lot of improvements. If you weren't able to get a good lap in your first run, you get to regroup and have a go once again in your second one. So Oscar Villacampa doing exactly that to go 1/10 clear, but surely he'll be challenged with some other drivers also trying to push. Kubo's right now making his way to 22 as well, and he looks to be on a good one right now.
Yeah, he does. Coming towards the final corner. We'll go on board this time. And we'll see what he can do. It's the heavy braking zone. Again, gets the car rotated. Gets on the power. Heading all the way down this way. He's got barely any battery left. He's going to come across the line. What's it going to be? It's a 26.005. So about half a tenth off Drake Dempsey's P5 time there. So yeah, that's going to be what his sights are going to be set on in this final run that he's about to do. Jane Tripkov has finished his lap. Phil McKee is about to finish his final lap, I believe. Coming towards the final corner. He seems to be pushing. Gets the car rotated, gets the power down. And he's going to come across the line. What's he going to do? He's going to want to move up a few positions. Which he does. He goes into P6 at the 26.974. Very close amount of lap times here. That's gone to the main. You can see there the top 4 within about 10th, and then 5th and 6th and 7th all within a few hundredths of a second. So yeah, everyone looking very close.
Yeah, they all definitely are. Both Red Bulls haven't been able to get a lap in so far, but Thomas Laminin is currently on one as he heads towards turn number 27 of this racetrack. But yeah, very, very close in the mid-pack currently of this qualifying session as well. So let's see what Thomas Laminin can do as he's going to get DRS open, and he's going to make his way now all the way to the line as well from P14, getting his first run in, goes to 3rd, and also meanwhile Wilson Hall was able to go to 5th, but now gets demoted to 6th. After his teammate goes 3rd.
Yeah, so yeah, not a bad set of second runs. Tony Riche still, yeah, I'm not sure if he's actually in the session yet. I think I saw him join, but he has not gone out, so he's probably going to wait for that final run if he isn't here. Benny Fabos, or Fabos even, he's going to be wanting to gain positions. I think Drake Dempsey just went P2 with a 25.8 flat. So yeah, great lap time by him. It's just Benny Fabos on his outlap. He's still in the middle sector though, so he's got quite a bit of time. Obviously, oh, so not obviously, but unfortunately, we cannot see the timing screen, so I have no idea how much time is actually left in the session. I think that's because Bogdan Moldovan is on low fuel mode.
Yep, absolutely. Great lap there by Drake Dempsey, just 44 thousandths currently behind Oscar Villacampa, but Oscar really does look very good around this circuit so far. One more run to come for all of these drivers. They will be trying to improve their positions at the end of this qualifying session. Pressure will definitely be on all of them, and I think Drake Dempsey definitely will be chasing pole position as well, but Oscar Villacampa, if he doesn't make any mistakes, he should also be on an improvement of lap time as well. So a lot of improvements we're going to see, and 1/10 between the top 5 as well. So absolutely incredible to see how close the times are around this very long circuit. We have to see a lot of different technical corners there is. So great to see the top 5 only separated by 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, definitely very cool to see, especially when everyone's, you know, so quick that it does get to that point. And you think about how long the circuit is, and as you said, there's lots of corners. So yeah, it really is amazing. Yeah, Benny Fabos, he's going to be wanting to close the gap to everyone ahead. He's about 6/10 away from P12. Oh, did he? It looked like he cut the corner then, but I guess he didn't. He is at 1.5 tenths up nonetheless. He's only got to gain about 5 more to gain a position, so fingers crossed that he is able to do that. Coming through the middle sector now.
Might have been a mistake on his first one. Might explain why he is so much down, but he'll definitely be hoping that through the second sector with a lot of technical corners and also well, to be honest, mostly the third one is just straight line as well, but you obviously do have the chicane as well. But yeah, he's a tiny bit more up, but he'll definitely need to be more if he wants to move up. And I think Cameron Dowd's also in P12 right now. Will also be hoping that he can maybe get into the top 5, but he will have to find a tiny bit of a improvement there. Currently he's 4/10, almost 4.5 off pole sitter Oscar Villacampa currently.
Yeah, so Benny Fabos, has he been able to hook up a good lot of time? It doesn't really look like it. He is going to cross the line, and you know, it wasn't that bad. It's a 26.499, but still a bit off everyone else. Everyone though now starting to pour out for their outlaps. to get ready for this final lap of the qualifying session where everyone is going to be decided. But yeah, watch out for Oscar Villacampa, watch out for Drake Dempsey, watch out for Bogdan Moldovan, Thomas Laminen. I mean, to be fair, you could go through the entire top 6 there who are all in the 26.8s. All going to be looking to try and steal this pole position.
Yep. As well. Oh, Bogdan Moldovan, 5th place.
Ooh.
We could be getting a restart for that one, I think.
We're going to get
Possibly.
another restart. These guys, I know it's not like their fault, but like, just don't drive in front of the other driver, because then we won't be having these restarts, but oh well.
Well, you're more lucky than F5 at least. Because
Is
F5
there a lot
has
there?
like every single. Well, F5 at least gets like quite a few grid pens, and I think restart like every single race. Don't think there's been a restart. There's not been a restart as well since this rule was implemented. But obviously it is fair for the drivers as well, because sometimes it's not really their fault. Most of the time it's not really their fault. So obviously more fair for the drivers. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it is just unfortunate at the end of the day, but yeah, we'll see what happens, because we do still have a qualifying session for everyone to do. We're going to follow along with Oscar Villacampa, and then we'll look at Drake Dempsey, Bogdan Moldovan, and see how those guys are doing. Yeah, I'll let you take us away for this final lap of qualifying with Oscar Villacampa.
Here we go. This is going to be important. He'll need to be he needs to get a very good lap here if he wants to hold off pole position from the fast drivers of Drake Dempsey, Bogdan Moldovan right behind as well. Who will also be looking for some kind of improvement. So this lap needs to be perfect for Oscar Villacampa as he now heads into turn number 5, and this is going to be the lap where you really are going to be getting close towards. You're going to take more risks than you have so far in this qualifying session. You can see he's currently doing it absolutely brilliantly. We're about to get a third sector time to see how the lap currently is hooking up for him, and he's about to head once again to the banked corner. He's a tiny bit down, so not the best he's managed. Andre Lopez also retires from the session as well, so that he'll start best P5, but there'll surely be more improvements, and Oscar Villacampa was holding on to the car as he got on the power as well. But checkered flag is out. This is going to be now really crucial, but Oscar Villacampa, the lap, it doesn't look like it's as good as the ones he has managed, but he'll surely be trying to gain some of the time back as well in these in the second and third sector as well. Here we go to turn 22. We're going to find out once again. He's 82 thousandths down. It doesn't look like he's actually managing it right now. So third sector mostly a straight, but let's hope he's able to find some kind of improvement. But if you're Drake Dempsey, Bogdan Moldovan, or even Thomas Laminen, you're just going to be hoping that he doesn't, because you want to try and take pole position, and they'll surely be finding some improvements as well if they're able to hook the lap up. But here we go with Oscar Villacampa to the line.
Has he done enough to extend his pole position? No, he hasn't. He's 0.02 of a second down. Can Drake Dempsey challenge that? He's going to know that Oscar Villacampa's done it. I don't think he's going to know the exact time. But coming round the final corner, has Drake Dempsey done enough to get pole position? We're about to find out as he comes towards the line. Open to DRS. Seemed a bit sketchy there, but has he done enough? Yes, he has. It's at 25.709. Great lap time. But Thomas Laminen immediately beating that with 25.667. Ewan Lenore as well going P3 with a 7.50. Bogdan Moldovan doing a 25.697 as well, so very close. Oscar Villacampa, if he'd gained 5 more thousandths, that would have been a position. Very unfortunate for him. Also, Cameron Dowds, I think, down in P11 or P12. Bit unfortunate for him. But yeah, we do have a good 30 laps of racing now to see what makes up for it. We are probably going to have to restart the lobby. We'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, there is your order. At the moment, it's Thomas Laminen, Bogdan Moldovan, Drake Dempsey, Ewan Oscar Villacampa, Riche Hall, Lopez, McKee, Trezak, Dowds, Tripkov, Welsh, Fabus, and Franco rounding out the grid. We'll be back after a short break. We'll just quickly find out if there is going to be a restart. Yeah, we'll just keep you updated. But yeah, there is your order. Yeah, definitely going to be a restart. So we'll cut to a break now, and we'll be right with you when the race is restarted. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully that wasn't too long of a wait, but it is now time for the race to start. Just loading in now. All the drivers going to be getting their setups. Got to make sure that they remember them. So easy to forget. But we are just moments from getting underway. Omi, give me some predictions. Tell me what you think is going to happen.
I think a few safety cars.
Yeah.
I can give well, I can give you that one. Other than that, it's gonna be completely unpredictable. Gonna be I think we're gonna see a lot of moves with DRS. The last laps are gonna be absolutely crazy. I think I've given you quite a few.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a few options there. I think safety cars are pretty much confirmed on this track. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We're gonna make sure that we want everyone to try and keep it clean, of course, especially those fighting for the championship. But yeah, just moments away from starting, and we'll wait to get underway.
Yep, absolutely. Let's hope they are able to keep it clean. Cameron Dowd's obviously in the mid pack. He'll be hoping that he can keep it clean as well from 11th position. He obviously has the championship to think about as well. And I'm sure he'll be wanting to improve in the race. A few places as well. Get some good solid points after a tiny bit of a bad qualifying for him.
Yeah, I've just noticed the crowds on the balcony are all the same people, just duplicated.
Come
on, I swear the wait is only supposed to be 30 seconds. This feels a lot longer than 30 seconds.
Oh, because obviously, first of all, they've all got to ready up, and then the 30 seconds start.
Oh yeah,
so...
of course. Oh well, here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and we are underway in Jeddah. It's Thomas Laminen on pole from Bogdan Moldovan there, going side by side into turn 1, but Thomas has got away very cleanly there. Bogdan Moldovan fighting with the two Mercedes there, the two Mercedes fighting just behind him, and it's a run into turn 1, sorry, not turn 1, into the next corner. Both Mercedes choosing to back out in the end, just so they don't end up losing too much position. Wilson Hall is sent round. He's spun round. He's at the back of the grid, back of the order now. Phil McKee is in P8. Cameron Dowd's P9. That has pairing there, but Thomas Laminen currently leading the way as we end the first sector.
Yeah, really exactly what your poll said I wanted. Bogdan Moldovan on those hard compound tyres, so he is going to be coming under pressure as well. And I think we could be seeing a move now for second position, as Lenore is also going to move up to second place with those soft compound tyres, and the hards coming in of Bogdan Moldovan not able to produce the same grip. So yeah, Cameron Dowd has also fallen down, but it did look like there was some damage as well down at turn number 4 as Wilson Hall gets past Cuba, but Wilson Hall was the car round at turn number 4.
Yeah, I think he's missing an end plate. Yep, Cameron Dowd's definitely got damage there, so he's probably going to box to fix that. Phil McKee on the soft tyres, making up tons of positions on this opening lap there. We've got the tyre graphic up just so you can see it. Thomas Laminen and Ewan Lenore both starting on those soft compound tyres. Moldovan, Dempsey, Villacampa choosing to be faster a bit later on by starting on the hards. McKee is on the softs, Lopez on the hards, Fabos on the softs, Tripkov on the hards, Franco on the softs, Riche, Welsh on the mediums, Hull and Trezak. Sorry, I've definitely got the pronunciation wrong. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I just started choking my spit. Yeah, so he's on the hards. Franco's now in the pits as Tony Riche and Cameron Dowd. I think that's all for damage there. But yeah, that is your little tyre rundown.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Bogdan Moldovan and Drake Dempsey and Oscar Villacampa, I think they're all going to be scrapping as well
Yep.
currently for third position. And then the top two are just going to run away currently in a bit of a DRS turn. And then they might be coming under pressure later on as well. But Louis Welsh going completely different to everyone in this field, going on the set of medium compound of tires. So going to be interesting to see how it works out for Louis Welsh. But all of them currently making their way through. Jake Dempsey looks very close for a move, so let's see if he's able to make one very, very soon.
Yeah, he's definitely right at the back of Bogdan Moldovan. But on lap 2, nearly on lap 3 here, they're not going to be close enough or fast enough to stay with the soft runners. But we'll see what he can do. Following Bogdan Moldovan now, is he going to have a look? No, he's not. He's going to have to back out. Not close enough just yet. He's going to pick his move very nicely when he wants to do it. Further behind, Andre Lopez, not Andre Lopez, I'm not sure who that was, but someone that was close, and they are close. It's Drake Dempsey still. I don't know why I thought that was a different car, but it is Drake Dempsey, and he is looking to try and get past Bogdan Moldovan. Nonetheless, DRS has just been enabled, which is definitely going to help him.
Yep, absolutely will help as well. We could be seeing, I think, the leaders possibly just keep switching positions, not battling into the braking zone, but just DRSing each other and kind of working together to pull away for the rest of the field and then battle away later on in the race. But Drake Dempsey's going to try his best to get past Bogdan Moldovan. Not interested to do it in the first 2 laps of the race, obviously not using any ERS. He knows how easy it is when that DRS does get enabled. You have 3 DRS zones, and in this game, obviously, the DRS being a bit more powerful as well, as we have Franco back into the pit lane as well currently.
Yes. Where's Franco? I've lost
More
him.
damage, I think.
Oh, there he is, right at the back. Yeah, that might have been damage. He's fitted on the hards. So,
Whoa. Lenora's made a mistake.
Lenore in P4. He's losing traction there. You're right. Some sort of mistake. He's lost that position to Bogdan Moldovan. I keep thinking that's a Ferrari. It's just a shade of red. It looks the exact same. That's why I was confused earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. That's allowed Drake Dempsey. But Bogdan Moldovan's fighting back into turn 27. Here we go. And he looks to have got it.
Yeah, he does. So coming down this main straight, Drake Dempsey from Bogdan Moldovan. It's a drag race to the breaking point. Lenore as well in that train. Both of them pass the Alpha. Is Lenore going to go for a move? Is he going to send it down the inside? No, he's going to back out. But he is on those soft compounded tyres, so I don't think he's going to be behind for very long. So, yeah, lap 4 at the moment. Thomas Lavinin currently running away with this race. 2.8 seconds on Drake Dempsey and the rest of the field there. But he is on the softs and will pay the price later when he's on the hards. And yeah, the 2 Mercedes now fighting for P2. Are they going to do this strategically? Probably. They both don't want to lose too much time. I think Lenore should probably go ahead and try and drag Drake Dempsey along as long as possible. Or alternatively, Lenore can save his tyres now and have a bit more later, just to go a bit longer on the soft stint.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how the Mercedes played out, but unfortunate for Lenore as well, because he was battling away with Thomas Laminin. But we're about to get an answer to what Lenore wants to do, because he's in the DRS. He's gaining on Drake Dempsey. He's going to sit behind his teammate currently through 22, but there'll be another chance now with DRS as well. And Drake Dempsey just ahead currently of his teammate, but let's see now, are we going to be seeing the move into turn number 27? I think it'll be easy pass if we are going to see, and I think Lenore is going to go for it to the inside, and he is going to make the move as well. Drake Dempsey just breaks early, lets his teammate go there, and unless he's going to fight back with DRS into turn 1, that should be it. But he is going to get the DRS, and at some point you do have to kind of back off. But is he going to go for it? He is. He's going to pull out the system, and he's going to go for the move once again, and he's going to retake second position. So it looks like the 2 Mercedes are just going to play around currently and keep all the cars right now behind.
Yeah, interesting decision there to let the hard tyre runner go ahead, but fair enough, I guess. They're teammates, so I'm assuming that they're in a VC and they know what they're doing. I mean, that can also be a strategy to just swap the DRS, and it's faster to catch up to Thomas Laminen rather than defending from everyone else.
Yeah.
So, also in this train, Bogdan Moldovan, Oscar Villacampa, Phil McKee, and Andre Lopez. And you've got a 4-second gap all the way down to Benny Fabos in P8. And then I think everyone from there is pretty much a lone wolf until you get to Louis Welsh, Wilson Hall, and Cuba Treziak. Yeah, then everyone else just kind of being in their own quiet race. But yeah, so Drake Dempsey wanting to close in on Thomas Laminen, and they certainly have done, actually. I think Thomas Laminen has just made a mistake because they gained about a second in that one corner. Has he got damage at all? Doesn't look like it, but he must have made a mistake then because they gained like a complete second. And oh my goodness, he is just desynced and gone behind Drake Dempsey now. So, Drake Dempsey, your new leader after Thomas Laminen with potentially connection issues? I don't know, but Yunanor looking to get past Thomas Laminen, now going around the outside of Drake Dempsey. Yunanor also sending it around the outside of Drake Dempsey. Thomas Laminen, though, leaving space there, goes deep himself. Drake Dempsey maintaining this lead just for now. Yunanor can't do anything, but he's got to run now. Drake Dempsey, though, still going to be under pressure as Laminen has the DRS. Laminen goes to the outside. Can he get a position now? Going into turn 1, round the outside, gets into the lead of this race. Drake Dempsey fights back though, but in doing so makes contact and loses a position to his teammate Ewan Lenore. So they're going to go side by side into this fast corner. Surely someone's going to back out, and they are. Drake Dempsey having to back out there. You really can't overtake there. But the connection issues potentially hindering Thomas Laminen's race then.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely has hindered his race now because 4/10 of a second, and you have Lenore now back in the game as well. In this one, as Fionn McKee looking very close to the back of Oscar Villacampa. They're all now very, very close together. Currently are the top 7 in this race. But yeah, game on once again at the front of the field. Also good news for the hard runners because currently they're all right now staying in behind now the soft, with obviously Lenore having a moment and then Laminin having some Wi-Fi issues as well. So exactly what the drivers on the hards wanted as Fionn McKee on the soft tires fights past Oscar Villacampa.
Yes, so Oscar Villacampa into P6. Phil McKee in P5. He's actually done really good so far. I think he started outside the top 10 or on the top 10, and it's already in P5. So yeah, big props to him. But yeah, up ahead now. Are we going to see some more moves? I think Drake Dempsey there. Yeah, I think Yunanor went a bit wide actually, and Drake Dempsey's been able to come alongside, but not going to be enough to make a move just yet. Yunanor with the DRS, is he going to try and go for the lead? We'll go on board with him, and no, he doesn't send it down the inside, but Oscar Villacampa is making a move on Phil McKee. What are those guys doing as they come out of turn 2 there, side by side, almost touching? I think they were touching just briefly there, but Phil McKee with that tyre advantage, not really able to do much with it. It is lap 7, so the soft tyres are probably dropping off quite a bit by now, but Phil McKee does end up dropping to P6.
Yep, absolutely. Louis Welsh also looking very close to the back of Wilson Hall. That's a complete separate battle currently going on for P10 as well. But yeah, as we also see, Andrea Lopez versus Fionn McKee, and Lopez all the way around the outside. He's going to get past Fionn McKee. Fionn McKee who got past Oscar Villacampa. Oscar Villacampa re-overtook him, and now Lopez has also fought his way past as well. But yeah, brilliant battle now forming right at the front of the field, and it didn't look like the Mercedes of Lenore wanted to go for the move on Laminin, and then he went wide into the corner, allowed his teammate Drake Dempsey to also have a look up the inside, but he wasn't able to do anything with that. But now does that change, because the two Mercedes very close together, with also Bogdan Moldovan and MP4 to think about as well.
Yeah, we'll ride on board with Drake Dempsey here. We get a good view of whatever anyone does. Yunanor though with a great run going into this final corner, and he is going to pull out to the outside. Round the final corner, he backs out. He's going for potential switchback. No, he is sending it around the outside. DRS trigger potentially. He is going to get the DRS this time round though, but he's not really got a good run so far. But that's not going to matter. He's got the battery. He's got the ERS. He pulls to the inside, and Yunanor is going to be your new race leader. Drake Dempsey trying to have a little sniff, but he can't really do anything. And Yunanor is into P1, followed by Thomas Amino, followed by Drake Dempsey. But Yunanor on those soft tyres. Remember, Ewan and Thomas both on the alternate strategy. I'll bring up the tyre menu just again so we can keep an eye on this. Yeah, both of those guys on the alternate strategy. We've got some fighting as well between Wilson Hall and Cuba Treziak. Treziak ending up having to concede position there. But yeah, so up ahead, Yunanor from Drake Dempsey. Already half a second gap between those guys. and Drake Dempsey right at the back of Thomas Lamina.
Yeah, Drake Dempsey also going to be surely desperate to get this move done on Laminin, make it a Mercedes 1-2, and then they can dictate how this race goes as well with the DRS, and then they won't have any challenge until someone else fights past as well. So I think you're definitely going to see Drake Dempsey on the attack, and then maybe Laminin also might try and also get past Lenore once again. So it's going to be interesting. Out of turn number 22, and Laminin hasn't got the best exit. This is exactly what Drake Dempsey wanted, and now Drake Dempsey could maybe use a bit of ERS. He's very close, so he'll be getting a bit more the slipstream effect, and now he's going to use the ERS. So he'll go to the outside line. Laminin will cut off, and now Laminin has to use ERS to stay ahead of Drake Dempsey, and now he gets closer to Lenore as well. So a very interesting race currently. We are playing out here as the two Mercedes try to take 1 and 2. Lenore's already there. Drake Dempsey trying to join him, and now Laminin is also going to get closer to Lenore, and Lenore tries to squeeze Laminin, but Drake Dempsey gets to the inside, and we momentarily go 3 wide into turn number 1, and Laminin keeps it around the outside. That's great driving from Laminin, but Drake Dempsey will surely be run out of road. He has to back out. So now the new top 3 is Laminin, Drake Dempsey, and Lenore, the top 3.
Yeah, going 3 wide on the main straight there. It's something you don't see very often. But yeah, Drake Dempsey having to concede position there. Very good racing by all 3 of them there. I think that was all perfectly clean. Yeah, Thomas Lamina able to defend his provisional win. So, what's Drake Dempsey going to do to that? He's right at the back of them already. He's got 2 DRS straights this lap where he can potentially go for a move. He does seem like he just wants to overtake. I'm sure those soft tires are dead. In the meantime, Lenore's ghosted. I'm not sure what happened there. But Bogdan Moldovan has now got through into 3rd place. So, he went from being P1 about a sector and a half ago, and is now all the way down in P4.
Yeah, Mercedes knew how crucial that 1-2 was, and Lenore tried to squeeze Laminin and tried to box them in with Drake Dempsey going to the inside, but it just got too tight. And here comes Drake Dempsey again, thinking about it into 22, but he'll have a better run, and I think he'll go for the lead now on the exit of 22, and now down towards turn 27.
Yeah, he's got a really good run. He's already pulling out, already got the ERS, and already got the DRS open. Round the outside. Oh yeah, Bogdan Moldovan as well, also in this battle. And you and Lenore as well going down the inside. Drake Dempsey going around the outside. And it's like the grid there almost, the way they're all there. But Oscar Villacampa, also Thomas Lamina comes into the bits. Oscar Villacampa trying to get involved as well. But it's Bogdan Moldovan and you and Lenore down this main straight. Who's going to back out? Who's going to go for any moves? And it's going to be you and Lenore on the inside. But then switches to the outside on the chicane. And they're still side by side. Surely someone's going to have to back out. It's so difficult to go side by side here. And it is going to be you and Lenore slots into 3rd place.
That was great once again, I have to say, by both Mercedes trying to box Bogdan Moldovan in, but the outside just became the inside, and that just gave Bogdan Moldovan the run, and then Lenore backing out crucially as well as the soft start to fade away. As you can see, Laminin there coming into the pits. And I think you might be seeing Lenore also join him as well into the pit lane. So, yeah, very, very interesting currently how this race is going to play out with the strategy. Oscar Villacampa seems very close to the back of Lenore as his tyres start to fade away. Jane Tropkov as well was very wide, I have to say, before the banking there as well. But, yeah, lap 10 of this race, strategy still to play out. We've already seen Laminin in, but they're still battling all for track position as we have Oscar Villacampa trying to pull the move on the Mercedes of Lenore as well.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do coming into this penultimate DRS straight. Yeah, currently in P4. Provisionally, that's going to be P5, but he's got a really good run on Lenore here. And he goes straight past the Mercedes there. The Mercedes probably going to pit this lap. Really doesn't seem to have much grip. But yeah, that is Oscar Villacampa into P3. Remember how quick he was during quali. And I was right, Lenore does come into the pits. He's probably going to fit on a nice fresh set of medium tyres. So this is really interesting because these soft runners haven't been able to make a gap. Obviously Lamina did, but he's lost that. And then Lamina is going to have to fit on the hards, or the mediums in this case actually, but the harder compound, and everyone else is going to be on the softs. Apart from you and Lenore as well, but everyone else is going to be on the softs. So it's going to be really difficult to fight between them. But yeah, there is you and Lenore on his soft compounded tyre. Thomas Lamina already ahead of him. So Yunan on the medium compounded tyre, he's going to be not too far behind. Surely he can catch up to Theo McKee with those fresh tyres. They are going to be cold, but he should be able to catch up nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. Benny Fabos was also struggling for grip. He was almost sliding and crashing into the pit lane there as well. But yeah, all of them now forming in, and obviously the soft runners who were able to get the gap as well. Thomas Laminin and also Lenore both obviously had some of their issues of their own. I think Lenore had a mistake, and then Lamin also had some technical issues as well. But Fionn McKee, I have to say, also has been able to jump Lenore and is currently net second place. It's going to be interesting to see where the top runners come out as well. But currently, it's Lamin, McKee, and Lenore, the top three in the net race leaders. So for us, Drake Dempsey tries to take the overall lead on the circuit.
Yeah, not quite going for a move just yet, but he does have it set in his sights as Drake Dempsey behind Bogdan Moldovan now. Andre Lopez going into... Oh, he's not going to the pits. He's putting up for a move, but Drake Dempsey's also going for a move, and he's taken the lead of this race from Bogdan Moldovan. So the lead pretty much changing each lap, which is something you don't really see in league racing. Everyone just decides to stay in a train until pretty much the last lap, and that's when hell is let loose. Jane Tripkoven is fighting Wilson Hall as well, further behind. But yeah, a lot of action, which is good because you don't normally see that.
Yeah, absolutely. They were actually going 3 wide, were Jane Trupkov and Kuban Wilson Hall. They were all going 3 wide, heading down into turn number 1, but they're all just about able to get through with Jane Trupkov, I should say, as well, just coming out on top so far in that little hard runners battle once again. But I have to say, Trupkov wide once again. He's really struggling through on the exit as well, which means he just runs wide before the banking as well. So very unfortunate for him as well. It allows some of the drivers to close in behind if he's obviously not gaining time, because sometimes you could also gain time with that moment. But yep, currently Drake Dempsey ahead of Bogdan Moldovan, who's going to try to keep the gap. If you do lose a bit through the first and second sector, you in the third sector, 3 DRS zones, is very easy to catch it back up. And I think all of these runners are going to be sticking with each other as they try to minimize the time loss currently. Go long on this tire, but then also minimize the time loss to the medium runners, so they can close in on them in a tiny when they come in.
Yeah, so we'll see if anyone's going for a move here. And Andre Lopez is going to go for a move, but we do have Bogdan Moldovan and Drake Dempsey coming to the pits. Are they going on to the mediums then? Because that seems early if they're going to go on to the softs. Really? Yeah, it does seem to be the mediums, which surprises me. I would have thought that they would have stayed out to try and go on the soft tyres, but maybe they don't have any fresh sets that they feel good enough. But onto the medium tyres then. There's Thomas Laminen on the left side of your picture there. And that's going to be him interpreting the provisional lead. So yeah, the undercut, very powerful in this game, and it's been proved here. Also, Ulanor did manage to catch up that train, as we had predicted, but there's the gap. It's about 4 seconds and about 3 lap tyre advantage for Drake Dempsey. So, towards the end of this race, I reckon those mediums that of the guys who have already pitted are going to be absolutely horrible. So that's where Drake Dempsey's going to have a real advantage. But yeah, until then, I feel like it's going to be quite difficult to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. Till then, Bogdan Moldovan and Drake Dempsey just got to keep working together, trying to close the gap. But also remember, drivers like Lenore, Fionn McKee, and Lamin also will be using the DRS off each other. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that one plays out. But Andrew Lopez and Oscar Villacampa, if they might be going a bit different to the soft. But anyway, Villacampa going for the race lead currently on the circuit, and he's roaring past with the DRS. Look at the speed and momentum he had there with the DRS. But are these guys going to continue like we kind of thought and predicted them to go on the soft, or are they going to be heading on to the mediums? Right now it looks like they're continuing on, but Andrew Lopez looks like is also retaking the lead as we head into turn number 1.
Yeah, these guys don't want to be fighting too much because they're going to lose so much time. In the meantime as well, Phil McKee overtaking Thomas Laminen for that provisional lead. Phil McKee, I believe, was the race winner in Imola before it got taken away due to a penalty, which I think he appealed and it should have been taken away, but then he didn't appeal the exact specific way that he should have done, which I think was a bit interesting. But he did end up having that win taken away, I believe. So he's going to want redemption, and he has potentially got to go today, but he's already lost the lead again to Thomas Laminen there. Am I tripping? Did he just immediately lose that? But anyway, Thomas Laminen in the provisional lead for now then. Yeah, no, sorry, that was just Laminen. No, that was Laminen overtaking McKee, I think. Not the other way around. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, Laminen provisionally leading this race. Drake Dempsey has already made about a second of him on those guys. I think the gap was about 3.5 before, so already a second, which is really interesting if he can do that continuously. Bogdan Moldovan sitting right behind him, gaps at about 3.5 tenths.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like the top three wanting to go onto the soft compound tires. They're working together, Villacampa and Lopez, as Villacampa once again takes the lead with DRS, but they can't afford the battle. They cannot afford the battle to go into the braking zones. They just gotta try overtake each other with DRS. We do have yellow flags on the circuit. I think it might be an
Ooh,
Aston Martin. It
that
is
is
Tony.
Tony Ricci.
Yeah. Yeah, he's lost the position to Cameron Dowds there, so making a mistake as Andrea Lopez once again takes the lead as Bogdan Moldovan also gets past Drake Dempsey as these two try to work together to chase the cars ahead of them.
Yes, so, um, Louis Welsh overtaking Wilson Hall there. Not for any provisional lead, but behind him, Phil McKee is trying to go for the provisional lead. Has a little look, but isn't able to do anything just yet. Just having to sit behind him for now. But yeah, Drake Dempsey, he's gained another half a second in the past lap or so. Not even the past lap, the past like half a lap. So looking very quick there to try and catch up. Yunanor is going to know that it's his teammate right behind him, and the gap at 1.9, 1.8. It is closing. So those mediums potentially already not looking clean after 4 laps, because Drake Dempsey has gained so much very briefly here. But obviously he's going to lose quite a bit when we get to the DRS. But still, he's gaining a lot of time.
Yeah, and absolutely. And also, all of these guys, the net race leaders have catched up to Wilson Hall and Louis Welsh. They're losing time to this part of the lap, and that's exactly what Lopez and Villacampa also want, as Laminen's going to probably try to get past his team as soon as possible, as Wilson Hall will probably try to get past Louis Welsh. So this could be an interesting situation, but they've been blocked for about half of this lap.
All right. I did not notice that, but you know, that's why they've been slowed down so much. They're in traffic. Thomas Aminen. Oh, he's been forced to break there, and Phil McKee is going to get through. All the Red Bulls are pulling out here. Wilson Hall. Oh, there's more contact between them. Wilson Hall ended up pulling out. And now Phil McKee down the inside for the provisional lead. Let's hope no front wings have been damaged. But yeah, definitely a lot of touching there. So, Wilson Hall still ahead of Thomas Laminen, and Yunanor is going to try and have a look now. Drake Dempsey is within DRS as well. Phil McKee is a sitting duck on the straight, and they're going to go almost 3 wide into turn 1. But Phil McKee now fighting Wilson Hall. Wilson Hall goes off the track, and Phil McKee takes the provisional lead of this race. Wilson Hall has a time penalty for cutting the corner. Yunanor is through into P2, and Thomas Laminen having been forced to break even more. Now, Louis Welsh is well still in this battle. Drake Dempsey trying to get past Louis Welsh. But what an absolute mess this past half of the lap has been.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's the flags. Phil McKee has spun round. No. Phil McKee has spun round. He's got damage. He's going to have to box now. Oh, I don't know what happened there. It might have just been a mistake, but he was looking to take the lead. And now we have a virtual safety car as he's got damage. Oh, Phil McKee, man. Could have got his first win, but has made a mistake. Oh, wait, who's that in the wall? Someone else is in the wall as well.
Yeah, it's penalty galore right now, actually, because they're all trying to overtake each other. I think there was some illegal overtaking shambles, and now we're 3 wide under the virtual safety car as well. So it looks like there has been some chaos.
Yeah, so Drake Dempsey, I think, had an illegal overtake and wasn't able to undo it. Potentially, full safety car. That is unfair. If you're trying to let someone by and they just don't overtake, yeah, it's really annoying. But that is I don't know what they can really do about it.
Yeah.
Until after the race. So, I mean, unless he serves it in the pits as well, then in that case it's going to have to stay. But yeah, full safety car now. Everyone's going to be brought together, and those guys who stayed out, we'll remind you who those guys were. It was just Wilson Hull, because the other guys crashed. But Wilson Hull is going to be loving this safety car right now.
Diving in. I think they'll all dive in, actually,
Oh.
once again. Could this be for soft?
Yeah, it probably will be. We've got 9 laps left. So, Wilson Hull has been absolutely blessed here. Even though you could kind of argue he is the blame of a lot of that. But Drake Dempsey kind of fits. He's going to have to serve his 5-second time penalty, which I think is probably good, especially now we're on a safety car restart. It'll be served under safety car, so it doesn't really count anymore. Where is he going to come out? P7, it looks like it's going to be. But Oscar Villacampa, Andre Lopez, did they pit last lap? Or
Yeah,
they're now fresh mediums?
Yeah, absolutely, they did. But obviously they didn't go for the soft compound tires. They've gone for the medium, so they're going to be leading this little frame. But they're going to be absolutely chased by these softs, and they'll be and I think they'll be hoping that the softs fade away for the rest now to the end. But Fiona McKee's gone for the mediums.
So why did they pit early? Because that was on the previous lap. So is that just that was just the strategy? They were both on the hards, and they've just got incredibly lucky here, I think, because the other guys were fighting, and that cost them so much time that now they're in the provisional lead.
Yeah,
Oh.
obviously they rejoined behind though, but obviously now the safety car helping them because obviously you have Lenore and all of
Oh
these
right,
guys
yeah,
diving
yeah, I
in.
see, I see, I
So-
see. That
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
all of these guys just diving it into the pits, and that's now giving them P1 and P2. But I think they'll be under pressure quite a bit at the front. But they've just got to hope and pray that the softs fade away, and that's where Fionn McKeith and Tony could come in handy as well in that little squad, and Cameron Downs as well. He's on the medium, so it looks like they're all thinking that the softs will fade away at the end. So it's gonna go all the way to the end. This race is gonna be, but obviously these few laps behind the safety cars will also help the soft run just a tiny bit as well. But I mean, the race could completely change by the end of it once again.
Yeah, it's just going to be a sprint to the end of the race now. Quite a long sprint. I mean, it is 8 laps. Probably 7 maybe by the time we get going again. And that's still quite a long way for those softs to go. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, hoping obviously that all of the drivers are able to keep it clean as
Yeah.
well in these laps. But I think there might be some form of contact as well, as they're all going to be battling. So I think we could possibly see a bit of contact. But let's hope the majority are able to keep it clean as well in this race. But yep, the top 2 will be on the defensive. The rest will all be on the attack. So let's see how this one plays out. But yeah, Wilson Hall will be losing quite a bit with that 3-second penalty for track limits as well. So he's going to be losing out massively because they're all going to be together, and he'll be losing quite a few places as Cameron Dowds is diving it in. Now, is this to put on a set of softs now?
I mean, he's at the back anyway, so I'm guessing it would be. Yeah, it
Yep.
is.
Fresher tyres. So it looks like he just wants the 1-lap fresher tyres. That could also help him as well. So
Yep, yep.
And Tony's joining him as well. So, you know, even more strategy.
I
going on
hope
in
these
this.
guys just aren't trying to get the safety car to stay out, because
They
I
could
don't
be.
want the safety car to last too long. We've got a sprint that we want to get, that we want to see.
Yeah, we'll want a bit of a sprint all the way to the end of this race.
Yeah, so Oscar Villacampa and Andre Lopez leading this race on the medium compounder tyre, and everyone else apart from Fionn McKee on the softs. So it really is just a sprint race until the end. I don't think we're going to be in this lap because of how far behind Tony Richer is. But yeah, it's definitely a 7-lap sprint when we get going again.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be a very, very exciting sprint to the end. As we've already mentioned, the top 2 will try and be on the defensive. Hope the softs do fade away all the way to the end and maybe come back as well. But there will be cars absolutely everywhere trying to get moves done as well. And I think it could get very, very chaotic with all of them trying to fight their way past each other at this stage of the race as well. Right at the end, the drivers usually do get a tiny bit aggressive and try go for some desperate moves as well, especially on the last lap, if they do want to pick up some extra positions and also points, because it could come down to a few points at the end of the championship between a few places, and you always want to finish the highest you can. And I think Cameron Dowds will be hoping they can make some overtakes as well from P14, but then also hope at the same time that there's a bit of that there is a bit of chaos up in front of him. But he's got to hope that he's got to try and hope and avoid all of the chaos. But looks like the safety car is going to be staying out for 1 extra lap as well.
Yeah, so Tony Richer was not able to catch up in time.
And he's pitting
So
again.
is he pitting again? Oh, is he just trying to get it to stay out, or what is going on?
I think that is the game, unless he... Well,
there is a
unless he
limit
wants-
to how long it stays out. So
Yeah. Unless he wants hyper soft tyres, even fresher, all the way to the end. Every single advantage he can get. 0 laps once again.
yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing, but I think it still will be in this lap, just because of
Yeah.
how long it's been out. So that will be 6 laps of racing then that we'll have towards the end.
A good distance for a bit of a sprint.
Yeah, I bet Oscar Villacampa and Andre Lopez are going to be wishing that on the softs now, because it's really not that long.
Yeah, and these extra laps have helped the soft runners as well. But yeah, do watch Tony as well, right at the end of this one. Just a few laps as well, fresher than the other soft runners, so he could be coming in pretty handy. Cameron Dowds also 1 lap fresher than the majority of those soft runners.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
coming towards the end. He is definitely caught up. So it's guaranteed
yeah.
to be in this lap.
Absolutely. Surely will be coming in now. He's caught up. So we'll surely be in this lap. And we'll be sprinting all the way to the end with 6 laps remaining.
Yeah, so as we come through this final sector, probably a good reminder to like and subscribe, guys. Because for peak content like this, consistent league racing, that's what you got to do. Anyway, we are in this final sector now. The safety car is guaranteed in this lap. It is already driving its way into the pit lane, and Oscar Villicampa is going to close the grid. Close the grid right down. And we saw how fast he was in qualifying, and we're going to hope that he's going to put some qualifying laps in now until the end of the race. And we're going to get going. We'll go on board with Andre Lopez as he is behind Oscar Villicampa. Like, Oscar Villacampa's already gone, I think. Yeah, he hasn't completely left Andre Lopez in the dust. He's just going to want to push as hard as he can now, but Andre Lopez getting so much on this straight. But he's just going to want to push as hard as he can. Now watch these soft runners. What can these guys do as we have 6 laps to go, including lap 20? So, Benny Fable's getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limits warnings. But yeah, the grid not really moving too much at the moment. Oscar Villicampa still leading, and he's got about half a second, but Ewan Lenore is all at the back of Andre Lopez here. Ewan Lenore really going to want to win this race as he's on the faster tyres. And he's already behind Andre Lopez. He's using the battery. He's going to put it to the outside, the inside. No, he's going to stay behind and go straight on. He just couldn't turn, and that's a position gained on Andre Lopez. Andre Lopez, I think he was moving a little bit, or Ewan Lenore just couldn't decide. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but he ended up moving a bit too late and struggled to move as he was already inside the gearbox of Andre Lopez. But that is the position gained nonetheless. Thomas Lamina also going to try and gain the position on Andre Lopez, but not able to do it. The purple middle sector though looking very quick.
Yeah, absolutely. What a really, really great restart it was, and it was really kind of a mixture of both. Lenore moving as well, and Lopez also looking for a move. Lopez didn't know where Lenore was going to go, but now here comes Laminin around the outside as well. He's going to be super late on the brakes and go wide and then try use the momentum. If he's not going to get chopped off by the Ferrari. He almost does get chopped off. Drake Dempsey fighting his way past Louis Welsh as well. But here we go. Lenore wants to get away from the rest of the soft runners. He's out of the slipstream. He's going to the inside line of turn number 1, and is he going to take the place? I think Oscar Villicampa will be desperate to hang on, but there is nothing the McLaren driver can do. Lenore is fighting his way past, and he's been able to get away from the rest of the soft runners. And now how much Laminin has got to make this move if he wants to have a chance of the victory, because Lenore will surely be trying to pull away.
Yeah, definitely gap already at 6/10. Thomas Lamina, the pressure is on you. You've got to make the move now. Is he going to be able to do it coming onto this first straight? I doubt he's going to want to do it now, as he won't have DRS or anything. The gap already 9/10, or 8.5 tenths between Lenore and Villicampa. Lenore in the prime position to win this race, unless Thomas can get past quick enough before DRS is broken. But they're right on the cusp. I'm sure Lenore is dumping his battery. Yes, he is. I'll show the telemetry actually. You can see that he's using all of his battery, which is exactly what Laminin is now going to be doing as well, trying to get past before Lenore breaks a DRS, which he's right on the borderline. I think he made a bit of a mistake there because he just lost a couple of tenths on Oscar Villicampa there, but Laminin still not past Villicampa. Those mediums still perfectly quick, and those softs are going to start dying as well. Remember that. But Laminin, is he going to be close enough to go for a move? He goes to the outside of the final corner, sends it round the outside. Laminin on Villicampa. Oh, using all of the trap there, nearly hit the wall but didn't. And that is going to be Thomas Laminin into P2. Andre Lopez coming. Oh, I thought he was going to pit sent, but he wasn't. But yeah, Laminin within 7 tenths of Lenore. So Lenore not able to break that DRS gap.
Still game on right at the front of the field, 7 tenths, and you'll be getting closer with the aid of the 3 DRS zones that come his way as well when we get later on in the lap. But yeah, absolutely extraordinary stuff. But is there going to be any other drivers who are able to make some moves as well? But obviously the battle for the lead is going to be the real interesting one. Can Bogdan Moldovan also try and get a podium as well? He burnt his hand yesterday, so I hope he is all good, but luckily he is able to race with us today.
Yeah, very lucky indeed. So, Thomas Lamina, you can see how close he is to the back of Ewan Lenore. not long left to go. About, what is that, 3 laps at the end of this lap. So the pressure is on for him to catch up, but he is going to have that the DRS, and he's just got to save his ERS, and he's going to be in the prime position to win this race. We saw yesterday, we saw Hoyana Watmere losing 2 positions on the final lap to Ron Ha and Nicholas Longe. So the DRS is so important to what's going to happen in this result. So you don't always want to be first going into that last lap. So Thomas Laminen really where he wants to be right now.
Yeah, as Kuba also gets past Fion Nakia as well, but we could maybe see a move here as well. Bogdan Moldovan almost falling outside of the 1 second as well. But look at this. Oh, Fion Nakia is out. Fion Nakia is out as Laminin also tries to look for the race lead. Oscar Villacampa tries to go to the outside, but there's no moves right now for the top 3. But unfortunate for Kuba as well. He finds himself out of the race as well. So it looks like they've made some kind of contact down there as well in the first sector, but all to play for now in these last 3 laps.
Yes, so Phil McKee, not sure what happened to him, but it was something coming out the last corner, almost as if he just went on the throttle a bit too quickly, and then Cuba retired in the pits. But yeah, as I said, Laminen exactly where he wants to be, but potentially watch Oscar Villacampa. He's going to be on the nicer compounder tyres as we finish this race, I'm pretty sure, because those softs will be starting to get quite worn, and those mediums will be perfectly intact. So watch out for him, see what he can do. We're on lap 23 out of 25. We've got 2 laps after this lap, so surely Villacampa is going to want to get past either this or next lap to be in the best position to try and win this race. Coming down this back straight now, he's going to go for a move. He's not using any battery. Also, Yunanor is flashing. He's not got much battery at all. So what can Villacampa do? What could Laminen do as we head into the penultimate lap of this race? Time penalty for Benny Fables, I think it was, a Wilson Ho, one of them. Anyway, so Thomas Laminen going to the outside of Yunanor, and Oscar Villacampa sending it down the inside, braking far too late. He's going to have to concede that. He makes contact with the Red Bull driver there. Bogdan Moldovan is through, and Thomas Laminen stays into P2 then after that. So yellow flags, Benny Fables retires from the session, but Oscar Villacampa just missed his braking point, tried to send it down the inside, wasn't able to, and has subsequently lost positions. So Bogdan Moldovan now into P3, but there's a big gap between Thomas Laminen and Bogdan Moldovan, and there's an even bigger gap between Yunanor and Thomas Laminen.
Absolutely exactly what Bogdan Moldovan wanted. He's now got into the top 3, but look at the drive Oscar Villacampa's got, and he's now going to use a bit of ERS, and he's going to go be able to build. Cameron Dowd is also out of this race as well, but look at this. Is Oscar Villacampa gonna risk it? Surely not, and he had to back right out of it, and he was almost squeezed all the way into the wall, but now he'll get a chance once again. He's going to use ERS. Andre Lopez is also going to be using the DRS as well, so watch this. He might get boxed in. So we have Bogdan Moldovan, he's got past him, and Andre Lopez is now going to try and get past the McLaren heading down into turn 22. Bogdan Moldovan tries to fight back, but heading through on the inside and also getting pushed off is Moldovan, as Lopez improves to P4, and here comes Drake Dempsey, who's going to get past Bogdan Moldovan. He's now going to get the try on Andre Lopez as well, and this could get very tight as they battle for the race lead as well. Yeah,
well done for keeping up with all that. Certainly a lot going on there. In the meantime, Thomas Laminen right at the back of Yunanor, but you can see that train there. Moves happening all over the place. Oscar Villacampa now losing positions to Drake Dempsey and Andre Lopez. On Drake Dempsey moving to the inside incredibly late there. Just for the breaking point, trying to get past, and Andre Lopez goes off. Drake Dempsey gets through, doesn't quite get through just yet, but Andre Lopez with a time penalty now. But keep your eyes casted on the top 2 drivers. We are on the final lap of this race. Moves are going to be made on this lap. Has Thomas Laminen done enough to be close enough by the DRS? Yunanor has no ERS to defend with whatsoever. So Thomas Laminen... Oh, Lopez losing positions. Villacampa also going off track there. But Thomas Laminen, and I keep talking about Blue Voice as well, making position. Andre Lopez there, right at the back of Villacampa. But Laminen really in the prime position here to win this race, bar any sort of mistake. Andre Lopez still fighting with Louis Welsh as they go side by side. Oh, Villacampa has a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting and gaining position. I'm sure that will be removed later, otherwise he would have given the position back. So Drake Dempsey... as well, a second away from Thomas Leminen. He's going to be under pressure on this lap. But this is the battle we've all been waiting for this entire race. Thomas Leminen, has he done enough? It's a big gap at the moment, but he's got a lot of battery and he's got a lot of DRS. And Leon Lenoir is going to be a sitting duck on this straight. Nothing he can do. Thomas Leminen gets into the lead of the race, leaves Ewan Lenoir behind, and he's going to come around the final corner. And in the lead of this race, Thomas Leminen has shown he's got pace. He's shown he deserves it. Ewan Lenoir isn't going to be able to do anything, and Thomas Leminen is going to win in Saudi Arabia.
Wow, that was a brilliant last lap. Nothing Lenoir could do right at the end. Just look at the speed that Laminin had when he used a bit of ERS and also the DRS as well. Bogdan Moldovan super close as well to Tropkov. They were battling all throughout the field right at the end. So much action, so much battling. And it's kind of what we expected here at Jeddah, and the safety car giving us a bit of a grandstand finish. It was a sprint to the end, and it was an absolutely thrilling one with so much action. But unfortunately, we did get quite a few retirements there right at the end. But the drivers who did finish put on an absolutely brilliant show.
Well, I'm not sure how many predictions you said at the beginning of the race, but you certainly got quite a few right. Yeah, Thomas Leminen winning this race from Ewan. Drake Dempsey P3, but if Oscar Villacampa's time penalty does get removed, he was actually 200ths ahead of Drake Dempsey going into that. Coming across the line. So it just depends whether that gets removed or not, whether the position is kept or not. But nonetheless, a very good race there. There is your podium, and there is your results. Leminen from Lenoir, Dempsey, Welsh, Tripkov, Moldovan, Hall, Villacampa, Franco, Lopez, Richer, Dowds, Fabos, Trezak, and McKee rounding out the grid. Your fastest lap was Drake Dempsey with a 28.008, and I'll just quickly go through the race director just in case anyone needs it after the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And also remember, these are just the provisional results. I'm sure you will go through them as well next time around. But a lot of the drivers not really happy after that one, I have to say. And a lot of them saying they are going to report quite a lot of the stuff. I haven't seen really any. I haven't seen. I really haven't seen one driver that's really happy with this race. All of them really have a lot to report as well. So. Gonna be really interesting to see how the stewards report goes, but I'm expecting a lot of reports. So remember, these are just your provisional results, and also possibly some drivers trying to get some penalties removed when they were pushed off while in a wheel-to-wheel battle.
Yeah, well, thank you guys very much for watching. Certainly be sure to join us next week for round 9 out of 12, which is gonna be. Oh, this is round 12. Why does it say round 9 in the title? I don't know. It is Mexico, though. Oh, that is the season finale, actually. I don't know why it says round 9 in the title. I'm just noticing that now. Yeah, that's a mistake by me. But yeah, round 12. It'll be round 13. Oh, no, that's PCF 1. That's probably why I'm looking at the wrong one. It is round 9, and it's Mexico next week for round 10. Yeah, one. But I don't even know what's going on with the calendar. Is round 10 the next race, or is there 12? I know it's haven't been announced yet.
Well, from what I know, I think there is 12 rounds as well. Then we have Mexico, and then I think we have 2 more to come as well right after that one.
All right, okay. Well, be sure to join us for those, and